To right the misconceptions of what tourists can actually buy is the aim of a recent trip to Alotau by representatives from the Pacific Horticultural and Agricultural Market Access Program, funded by Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. The visit focused on handicraft awareness, shining light on relevant authorities responsible and local sellers to tap into the growing cruise tourism interest from Australia and New Zealand into PNG. Priscilla Waikaidi with this report.
The focus on handicraft is a one-off program activity under FAMA, and despite the inclination that many of Papua New Guinea's handicraft cannot be sold or bought and taken overseas because of quarantine issues and the likes, they quite simply can. Country Manager of the Pacific Horticultural and Agricultural Market Access Program, or FAMA, Sydney Suma, says accompanying this is their major project on a vendor guide for both the artisans and buyers or tourists.
We're working through to make a vendor guide. The vendor guide will be used by the vendors or the sellers of the handicraft to know which items are allowed, how to do simple inspections, how to do treatments, and basically to give the vendors confidence to sell their items, and also to, in a sense, not give some assurance to the tourists that whatever we produce is sellable in Australia or allowed into Australia or New Zealand.
He says likewise, standards need to be raised for the type of product you are selling, targeting artisans and more. He says the vendor guide to come out in early 2017 will also be accompanied by a short video to show tourists what buying locally produced means to the local economy. They plan to kick off next year with a host of other similar workshops with on-the-ground agencies such as PNG Customs, Nakia, the local stevedoring companies and more. And coincidentally, a non-related DFAT-funded jewellery-making workshop was underway the same time in Alotau, attracting artisans from the districts and in Alotau together on product development to meet international standards and demand.
We feel that this is new to us. Like, we don't see these earrings, the rings especially, and these tools like spanners, long nose spanners and all that. We don't use that before. This is our first time. When we saw it, we were really happy.
People like us, me not working, I have to take up my time to learn something which will be very much affordable for me, especially with SME. And I know that I've learned so much of skills within this jewelry-making training.
The workshop is an example of the kind of help key stakeholders are playing to develop the tourism industry for target provinces under government's Tourism Support Zone initiative. A record 40-plus cruise ships called into Milne Bay this year, and those in the know tell us a little over 30 will be visiting for the same in 2017. Priscilla Waikaidi, NBC National News, Alotau.